Hey, what's going on, people? Welcome to Pillow Talk with Paul Goneau. My guest today is musician and comedian Brendan Henderson.
Hey, thanks for having me, bro.
Welcome, brother. Welcome, brother. All the way from Oshawa.
Oh yeah, the dirty schwa, baby.
Shit, man. I feel like Oshawa doesn't necessarily have the best reputation, but I haven't been there enough really to develop my own opinion, to be honest.
Yeah.
One place I can verify that people should definitely avoid, Brampton.
Really?
Oh, man. For sure, dude. Like, if STDs were a baseball team, Brampton would be home turf. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's doing anything there but fucking drugs and probation.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Legitimately, do you know Brampton?
Yeah, I just knew it as, like, a different vibe. I didn't know it was a bad town. I just thought
dude.
It was all,
When I was, like, younger and I first moved to Brampton, like, early 2000s, I legitimately saw a homeless man, like, outside. Okay, so there's the GO station downtown, and there's an LCBO kind of close, and then across the street there's, like, this parking, I don't know, area. And there was this homeless guy straight up fucking the muffler of some SUV in the parking lot across the street from an LCBO. So, like,
that's cool.
I'm pointing out that was LCBO because, like, there was traffic. There was heavy traffic. Like, people saw him. And this wasn't, like, nighttime, dude. This was, like, broad daylight. He saw people. It didn't faze him. Like, this is the kind of place Brampton
He was getting a nut off. That's for sure.
Crazy. Do you think Oshawa's reputation is
can hold up to that?
I mean, do you enjoy living there? Were you born there?
No. I was born in Toronto, and I moved around a lot as a kid. But Oshawa to me was like the city because I grew up in Newcastle. That was like 3 towns over, and it was like a farm town. Like it was just nothing to do. There was, you know what I mean, 2 stores, 2 pizza stores, fucking. Not much. So we always looked at Oshawa as like Toronto. We thought it was like the big city going there. There was the mall. It was fucking cool.
Yeah.
But it never had a bad reputation for like guys fucking mufflers or anything. In Newcastle, there was this dude. I don't know if I can say his name, but he was a crazy dude, fucking crazy guy of Newcastle, and he like would do the most fucked up shit ever. He would like roll a bowling ball. There's a big hill in Newcastle, and you come down, and it goes through the city, and then it goes down a bit more, and then anyways, that's the whole strip of Newcastle. You blink and you miss it. So this guy was at the top of the fucking hill and rolled a bowling ball down the fucking hill through the middle of Newcastle, like just stupid shit like that. He would hang skunks up in the woods. Like, we used to go fishing down at the fucking creek all the time. At Graham Creek. And you'd just be walking on the way there, and there'd be skunks hanging from trees. This guy, because he would try to throw people's scent off of his weed plants. That's what it was, right?
That's fucking odd. I never heard of people doing that before.
It's Newcastle raises some crazy people. Some fucking crazy people. And, like, I don't know. There's crime. There's bad people in all cities, all towns. Like Newcastle's considered a village.
Okay.
Or it was. But yeah, there's bad people. There's good people too, right? That's what made it. That's what made it so fun.
Oh, now hopefully he's not doing that. People can grow.
He's probably dead.
He's probably dead, eh?
Yeah, for sure. You only hang skunks up for so long. This is it for me.
He's hanging himself up soon.
Yeah, he probably went to jail a couple times. I haven't heard from him. There's a dude, Back Brace Ray. He was like...
Back brace.
That's what we called him.
Did he wear a back brace?
All the time. And he was always driving like a 21 speed bike, like a fucking, with the thin wheels and shit. And he was a creep. He was like a town, like, we thought he was a pedophile.
Yeah.
Like, he would buy us smokes, you know? We just always knew when to, like, leave his apartment, you know what I mean? Like... He never fucked any of us, but word was he would. That was the thing. So if you were looking for it, well, we used to fuck with him all the time. Call him Back Brace Ray, call him every name in the book, and he'd chase us down. And one buddy got caught, and he fucking beat him like he beat him pretty bad. And then you know, that was the life of growing up in a small town, bro. That was weird.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of when I was, I think, grade 8. It was either grade 7 or grade 8. And there was like this like church group or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what? Now that I'm thinking about this is the worst story. But I mean, this is like just what me and my friends did. Like when I was young, I just went out. I was a fucked up kid, man. I just went out to cause shit. Legitimately, I was like, all right, what are we gonna do? I've done just some crazy things. I remember me and my buddy Robbie. I'm kind of trailing off here, but I'll get back.
We got so stoned before this.
Me and my buddy Robbie, like, we jacked this giant super soaker. Like, when super soakers were the shit.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah,
I'm not kidding. It was the one with the backpack and
remember,
the hose.
yeah, I remember.
We jacked it from some backyard, like, around where we lived.
That's wicked.
And we went, like, a couple blocks down, and, like, my buddy goes up to this, I don't know, like, older man, you know? And he's like, hey, do you have the time? And he has the super soaker. And this guy's like, yeah, buddy just jacks him up with the super soaker. Just soaks him. And I'm like, oh, awesome. Like, we did shit like that. And so I jacked it from him, and then we kind of waited. And I saw this older Asian lady. And she was a little younger. I'm going to be real. She wasn't, like too old, you know? She was maybe, like, in her late 30s, you know? And she got off. And so I tried to do the exact same thing. And I was just like, excuse me, miss. Do you have the time? And she's like, goes to look at her watch, because this is like a time when people fucking use watches and not their phones.
Tell the time, yeah.
And so I jack her up with the fucking super soaker, and she starts running at me, bro, cussing like full on, like just full speed. And I mean, for a while too, like at least 2 blocks down the street.
Wow.
And she was swearing at me the whole time.
And she was keeping up with you in her mid-30s?
Oh, yeah.
She didn't smoke then, eh? Like, she was you fucked with the wrong lady.
I did. Totally, dude.
She was keeping up.
Okay, so back to the original story. I was with a group of friends, and we were like, I don't know, weirded out. We kind of considered this like weird. It was just like a house, but it had like all this like religious stuff on it, and we like called it a cult. I'm not condoning. I just want to say before I go through this, I know it's a shit thing to do. At the time, I just didn't care. I had a chip on my shoulder, and I was just an angry youth.
Yeah.
And I did, you know, people do stupid stuff when they're younger, and this is like one of the things that I did that was dumb. And so we grabbed, like, we just had a bunch of like eggs, and we created these things called like Vaseline bombs, which is essentially just like a scoop of Vaseline and like a thin layer of like saran wrap.
Really?
And so you throw it, and then like, because it's so hard to get off, like it's just, you know. And so we had a bunch of shit like that. And
that's
like,
wicked.
And we went,
that's fucking
and
wicked.
we opened the doors, and we threw all this shit in. We didn't even really look, you know. We saw some people standing around, and we just threw all these eggs and shit in. Some people threw them just on the outside and shit. And then we took off, and they all like came out running after us, bro. And like, this is just, like I said, it's like a house that just has a bunch of religious shit on it.
Yeah.
And so we're running just down these like side streets and stuff. And they're gaining on us. And so I kind of go around this van. Like, basically, I'm running down a street, and there's houses on, you know, both sides, but I'm on the left side of the street. And, you know, I'm passing driveways as I'm running.
Yeah.
And there's a van, and I kind of go around the back side of the van. And then I duck underneath. Bro, I, like, dive underneath. And I'm, like, breathing mad heavy, and I'm underneath this fucking van, looking at all the feet running. And, like, there's a couple people that are, like, looking for me. They saw me bolt. They think I went through the backyard. Like, I went around the van and like, just went in the backyard. And I'm just under the van trying to not breathe. Buddy, I was the only one out of my friends that didn't get caught. And
wow, good on you, man. That's quick thinking.
I've been caught before, but that's definitely, you know.
I was smart like that too, man. I never got caught for shit. Ever. I always knew when to leave. We did the dude, you ever fucking do leaners? Where you guys piss in a jug and you lean it up against someone's door and then ring the doorbell?
No? That's hilarious, leaners. That's awesome.
Dude. So we would do that all the time. And like 2-liter bottles, like cut the fucking top off so it's a big wide opening and you piss in it. And yeah, we'd do it all the time. And then go knock on the door and we'd watch. Like that was Nicky Nine Doors too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We did the same shit. But we evolved because we used to just knock on people's doors and fuck around. I think Billy Madison is what gave us the idea to light bags of shit on fire.
I've never actually done that. You did it.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, human shit.
Yeah.
We were stupid.
You called the shit poop.
We were stupid, and we never got caught. We always just, knew when to bail. Got the fuck out of there. We've been, like, busted. We smoked weed all the time down at, like, different... Cause we had, like, different parks in Newcastle that had, like, ravines, little creeks that ran through them, some of them. And that's where we'd hang out and get all fucking stoned when we were, like, 10, 11, 12. Like, we were dumb kids. We had nothing better to do.
Yeah.
Maybe not 10 years old. I think 12, 13-ish, yeah.
I was smoking weed in middle school.
Yeah, right? Like,
how old are you? I think you're around that age.
Yeah, 33. Yeah. So we would, get baked, and then fucking one time a cop came down and busted us. And one of our buddies' dad is a cop. So that kid got singled out by the cops. And they walked him up to the fucking car. He grabbed the bongs, and we had 2 bongs and a bunch of weed. And the cop put it on the roof of his car, all of it, and then just drove off. So it all just fell off the back. Then we just went up there, picked it up. Came back down. Yeah, the cops. It was cool. It was cool living in a small town because, like, you knew everything about everybody, right? Like, there was it was such a small town where, like, you'd hear people talking about someone dumping piss and they're leaning piss up against their front door the next day in school. You know what I mean? We did it to fucking people. I don't know, everyone and anyone, dude. It was so much fun. Yeah. We used to break into cars too. We were bad. Oh
yeah, I had a little time like that. I did a lot of weird things. Like, man, I lived on my own since I was like 16.
Oh shit, yeah.
And so, like, late 16, I was like a couple months away from my 17th birthday.
No, that's why I moved out when I was 16 too.
And
you got to.
So it's like, I mean, at a certain point, it's just kind of, you do what you have to do. I remember going door to door with, like, some, like, pamphlets trying to raise money for Mount Sinai and just...
fake?
Yeah, I got a lot of money doing that shit.
Yeah.
And
nice.
I also did, like, the car hopping thing.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about?
Yeah. Going in, getting whatever you can, some change, fucking...
Yeah.
Some nights you'd hit it off, right? Some nights you'd fucking...
Man,
make cake.
I had a couple times that I really got a lot of money.
Yeah.
I ended up
Don't encourage it because it's not a good idea.
No, I just want to say, like, I ended up getting... This is, like, a lesson. I try not to regret anything. I feel like as long as you learn something from,
well, and
your
feel
stupid
bad
decisions or
for it
whatever.
and be like, okay, this is stupid. I'm not going to... Yeah.
But I ended up getting, like, arrested.
Oh,
for
shit.
It. Yeah, so that was kind of the end of that.
That's what stopped it, yeah.
No, for real, though.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
But, dude, one time, I'm not even going to say the address, but I was in Brampton, somewhere. Sorry if you're watching this. I'm almost certain I, like, robbed a drug dealer.
Really?
I'm almost certain. Okay, so, like, I was probably 17 or 18 at the time. I moved out, and it was the second place I lived at on my own. That's all. Like, that's what I remember. It was probably around that age, like 17 or 18, and I wasn't working, and so, like, car hopping was like a regular thing for me for a few months, and I had a lookout. Like, I brought out my female friend, and she got a cut. She lived with me and stuff, and so we would always, like. This was like our job, okay? We would, like, map out. This is horrible, but I did get arrested for it, so I feel
you
like...
You paid the price, yeah.
I feel like, hey, it's a story,
You're allowed to talk about it now.
We would, like, map out sections that we would do. And we just went to this, like...
You guys did like Ocean's 11 did, eh? Like,
well, it was like okay, because we didn't want to really do around where we lived.
Yeah.
And we didn't want to do places that we already did because then it would be like they would, once you get
Absolutely.
jacked up, you're not gonna you're gonna protect your stuff
I agree.
from that point on,
I agree.
A little more anyway. You should.
Yeah.
So yeah, we went to this kind of like Richie area, and we honestly went to about maybe 10 houses. Like I would do one side of the street, and this just happened to be a dead end street. So I was like working around the bend and then going to the dead end area, and I was gonna come around.
Yeah.
And yeah, like under 10 houses in, we get to like a house on the bend, and it's an SUV that I'm in, and I find like a little bit of change. Like mostly 99% of the time you're getting change.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I have maybe $10 in change, and I'm like, I looked in the usual places, and then I had already opened the door, and like, if you're doing this, opening the door is like, I mean, the light goes on, so it's like, you gotta go. So I open the door, and as I'm doing that, I kind of just put my hand in the side of the door.
Yeah.
And there's like a glove, and I put my hand kind of under the glove, and I just grabbed something. I wasn't really sure what it is. I pull it out. Bro, I'm not on my Nana's ashes. It was like a stack of 5s, double banded, like a band on each end. And it was like maybe like this thick.
Really?
And I was like, oh shit. And I fucking close the door, and I sit back in, and I put my hand down again. And bro, I'm not kidding you. Another stack, but half of it was like 10s. And so I just opened the door and I book it, bro. I didn't even look a third time.
Wow.
After I got that second stack, I was like, oh shit. And I ran out, bro, and I remember running away from the driveway like this. Like, oh shit. And my friend was like, just kind of like frozen there. Wow. And I was like, oh shit, bro, I paid 2 months rent. I lived like deep north end of Brampton, and I fucking took a cab from my place to fucking Square One, and I shot the next day, bro. Nice. It was like $1,500, buddy.
Holy fuck!
Yeah.
Right? Jesus Christ!
It was the only bro. I've gotten a couple hundred sometimes.
Yeah.
Never really from one car, but like throughout a night.
I've never gotten that much.
I've gotten nothing. Oh, bro, I would go out for how long would you go out for?
A couple hours.
This is why I think I got caught, because I just would be out too long.
Maybe not a couple hours. I'd say probably like an hour and a half.
See, that's smarter. You didn't get caught doing it?
No.
Yeah, see, that's
the castle's so small. We would hit different areas, but that was the thing. It was like, you couldn't. Eventually, people catch on, and then you start getting once we started feeling heat, we just stopped. And I don't know. It wasn't like a ritual thing where we do it all the time. It was almost like, I don't know. Yeah, we'd stop and then do it again, and but never ever did we fucking cash in on $1,500, dude. Yeah, that would have been fucking sick. I don't even know if I would have told my buddies. I would have just kept it in the pockets and.
No, I was really close to the person. Like I said, I was young. 17, 18, and so she was my age, and she lived with me. She was just a really good friend from high school, and our relationship was super weird because she was attractive, but we slept in the same bed for a long time and didn't do anything sexual. I swear to God, just we were we were close friends, and I don't know It was never, I swear, man.
Wow.
We had and so we were just close like that, and it was she was always I'm gonna come out and be my, and I just felt a little
so
safer doing that.
She was living with you anyway, so that money was benefiting her rent as well, right?
There was a couple times when I got caught, I was doing it with 2 other friends.
Yeah,
and the cops rolled at us
like a bunch of us.
They rolled up on us at the corner of a field, bro. Obviously, I've gotten away from the cops quite a few times.
Yeah.
Hiding under decks or doing just whatever fuck you have to do.
Yeah.
And there was just no way to run. It was dumb. I was like, this is there's nowhere to go, man. It's over. We're done.
So they pinched you.
There was 2 cops just rolled up on us at the corner from opposite sides.
Yeah, you didn't even run.
Well, I mean,
I wouldn't have.
They were so close, and there was really nowhere to go.
I wouldn't have.
It was a big giant field that was
situation,
uncut grass
then you're
or whatever.
Fucking nailed with,
Yeah, I'm not doing it.
Resisting arrest.
It's right there.
It's
over.
That would be terrifying. Yeah. No. That's a good enough reason to stop.
Yeah, and I only really did it for, like I said, a few months.
Yeah.
That was it, you know?
Yeah.
You live and you learn,
Fuck,
man.
$1,500 though, dude. I can't get over that. That's wild.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Yeah, and like, what else? Who else could it have been?
Yeah, it was definitely a drug dealer.
Yeah. Like, who's keeping that kind of cash, like, that way inside their car? Like, if it's not a drug dealer, you're going to have it in, like, a bank envelope or something.
Right? Like, or in your house.
And that was just 5s and 10s, bro. Spot. Like, in my head, I was like, oh, I got back and was like, oh, we got 2, but I'm not certain that there wasn't more, because I didn't look. I just looked twice, I felt the same thing, and I was like, okay.
Imagine that. Imagine then it would have been a fucking stack of 20s or 50s, and it was like $5,000. Yeah. Either way, it's kind of, that's probably enough of like, buddy, if he was a drug dealer, he's not reporting it. That's your best bet there. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of benefits for that.
That's true.
But at the same time, like...
Is it even that bad if you rob a drug dealer? This is, I think, like a moral thing. And you put the money back
into the community.
Right?
You went and bought the economy.
Yeah.
You know, you went and bought some clothes, paid some rent.
I like that. You're making me feel better about it.
That's it, man. You did a good deed with that. That's the balance of life. If you think about it, if you want to think about it that way, there was there was some good to the bad.
How old are you, man?
33.
33. All right. How long you been doing comedy now?
2.5, almost 3 years. 3 years in January.
3 years in January. Okay. So, I've been doing a little bit longer than you. You know what that means?
Oh, you're the pro. You're the headliner. You're the headliner in the room. That's what that means.
I fucking hate that shit, bro. That's like a thing that really bugs me about. It's like a lot. It's like just from doing it a few more months, or even sometimes it can be as little as like weeks. You know? Or
and they're giving you advice.
They're on their high horse and shit.
You know what's even funnier is guys that think that. Guys and girls, I'm sure it happens to girls too, but that think that because they've been in it for so long that it's like a union. Where it's like, I've been doing it for 10 years, I got seniority, you know what I mean? Like, they think automatically it's like, that it's not based on a merit system that just goes by who's funniest, which it should be. Yeah. Because that kind of keeps it real. Right?
And I mean, not even like, I think also,
better.
like, it's, like, do people, I think comedians sometimes value what other comedians think more than what, like, an audience thinks.
Some people play in the back of the room.
Yeah,
that's for sure. Where they're trying to make the comics laugh with their jokes, and that's cool too. Do your thing.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Like, definitely when I do, it feels better. Like when you know someone is funny and you make them laugh, I feel like it's more of an achievement than just making like, you know, your buddy Bruce laugh or something. You know?
I completely agree. It definitely feels good to hear someone you admire, you cherish their work, right? Or whatever, even you just respect their work. The fact that you have, like, it's approval. You're seeking that approval, which it feels good to get, that validation that what you're doing is funny. But at the same time, I just don't think that's a strategic way to base your career off of, like, to try to just impress those guys. I don't know, maybe it'll work. I'm sure it would, because those are the guys, the gatekeepers, that are going to essentially have opportunities for you in the future. But
I think both are important, but I just...
You gotta want to get an audience,
right.
You know what I mean? You should be playing to what the audience finds funny. Because I just don't think a lot of comics are genuine in the sense of being open to I don't know, to give that credit where it's due. You know what I mean? Like, more comics are reluctant once they see a guy that's better than them, has whatever been coming through for a lot less time. It's almost like at first they reject that person. I've seen that before. Yeah. I've seen them, really good comics, just get shit on because they're new.
There's politics for sure.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. But it's the name of the game, right? I don't know. It's so weird. I can't play into that. I've always...
I know I try to...
Thought whatever I think is funny. Just say whatever I think is funny. And all I know, my goal is to, like... Because I think I got a pretty good gauge of what funny is.
Yeah, you did great at my show.
Yeah, it was a fun show, dude. That was a wicked show. But the thing is as long as you can make the audience see what you're trying to say from your point of view, if you can see it, if they can see it the same way you saw it, they'll laugh. That's what you have to trust, is that you're funny enough to know what funny is, but like, how do you translate that on stage? How do you bring that audience into that world of how you saw it? And that's the real challenge for me.
Yeah, no, I
love.
I agree, and that's kind of why I think it's easier to, there's levels of comedy, right? I feel like the first level is making your friends laugh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's easier to do that because your friends know who you are. They know.
Yeah, well, they'll get your references. They'll get your humor, because.
And so the trick is like somehow showing the audience who you are within your allotted time, so they get kind of, especially if you're the kind of person that's like, I don't know, telling stories of your life. Like if you're doing like one-liners, they don't need to know anything about you, really. They just need the one-liners to be funny.
Yeah.
But if you're letting, people giving your opinions and kind of telling stories of your life, that kind of shit, then like you really have, I mean, I've never headlined, but I think the longest that I've done is 15. And even that's still, that's some time. But it still feels like it's not enough.
I'm sure you'll get,
and that's like, that's what comes with, I think, just time.
That's it.
Being able to manage that time better and letting the people know who you are, like right out the gate.
Yeah, and it's hard to do in a 5-minute set, especially when it's not a lot of time to open up to somebody. 5 to 7, even a 10-minute set's not bad because they can start to warm up to you. 12 minutes, nice, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think
I like 10. 10's like
it's a nice spot. That's what I like. Yeah, and I'm picky, right? Like I'm very critical of how I'm gonna say the joke or whatever. Like it's like I try to fuck around as much as I can and do it differently, but for the most part, like if I have a gig that I want to do well on, I know exactly what I'm gonna say, and I try to be so well prepared in that sense where it's, it's a game, it's a nature, once you think your jokes are done, I think you're fucking toast. You know what I mean? You always got to be working on shit and trying to improve that 10 minutes and not just stay stuck in that, you know what I mean? And build on it. Like really get more to get 15 and get 30. And I just think because I'm a critical person of my own shit, it would be hard to have an hour right now or any in the foreseeable future. Right now is not even good. It would never work. It's just yeah, I don't know, man. It would be so much work to get to stay interesting for even 45 minutes. Like how these headliners are up there for fucking 40 minutes, 45 minutes. And I've seen it, man. I've seen guys that just do it and do it so well. And it's so it can be done, but don't you find it's difficult to fucking
I think
to do 15, 20. It's not that it's difficult.
15
it's just
sometimes because.
Do you get stoned before you go?
Okay, so.
Because I could talk for 20 minutes straight when I'm stoned, but when I'm sober trying to be funny, it's a different story.
It's weird because
I care less though when I'm stoned. I just don't I go up there and I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be. There's going to be fucking probably a good 5 minutes that's just not nonsense and doesn't make anybody laugh. Maybe more.
Up until about 2 months ago, I had only smoked or been high once on stage.
Really?
Legitimately. Never, and I'm not a big drinker, so you'll never really see me drunk on stage ever.
No, me neither.
Once. That was it. And it was like some like smaller place at a coffee shop, and I was just chatting with Andy Argueta, or whatever he's going by now.
Yeah.
And
cool. I like him.
Yeah, I like him, dude. And we were just chatting outside, and he just passed it to me, and like I didn't really think about it because I'm a big weed smoker, but like I made it like a conscious thing to not get high before shows, just so if something goes wrong, I can't use it as an excuse, just be like, oh, I was high, and I was kind of looking at it through that lens. I got high, and then I kind of still avoided it mostly, but up until, I guess, yeah, about 2 months ago, when I started the monthly show, I smoked a doobie with Brandon Zakai for the show, and I had like a lot of anxiety. That was like the first show I had, like, I had been hosting, really like my own show. I mean, I guest host or whatever. And so I had like a lot of anxiety just from different things, not even from like performing perspective, but then
just
I was
life in general.
Hopefully everyone's gonna show up. The audience is gonna fill
true.
out.
Producers
comedians are gonna be on time and things like that.
Yeah, that's so true.
And so it eased a lot of that, and I went on stage and I felt more relaxed, and I was like, ah. And then the next show, you were at the next one. I had you see me, bro. Like before, yo, buddy. I had went to, there's like a weed cafe across the street.
Yeah.
And I had really just been looking for a coffee at that point. I was like, oh, I don't want to drink. I need a coffee. It was late. I had worked earlier that day.
Yeah.
And so like I was like, I just need a coffee. And we went there, and it was like, it said cafe on the outside. So we're like, okay. And as we got close, like,
coffee,
it was a weed place.
Did they serve coffee at all?
They did, and I got an espresso with like
nice.
600 milligrams of THC or whatever.
Your fucking ass, right?
And then I bought.
Fuck, I love it.
Oh, bro, that's like the best combination. Like, I never realized it until that night.
Weed and espresso, that's cool.
Dude, because it gives you're awake a bit, but you're stoned. It's like the perfect combination.
Yeah.
And so I ended up grabbing some pretzels. I was with some people. They grabbed some shit too. And then, yeah, dude, like
that's cool.
Pretty much me and you ate the pretzels in the green room.
Yeah.
That was it.
They were good,
chatting.
man.
They were fucking good, dude.
Really good.
And I was like so stoned that night. The most stoned I've ever been.
You did
stage.
good. You did so good. I love your intros. It's so funny. You're ruthless. Just
I'm trying ruthless. To. I don't know.
like
I didn't like. I like kind of roasting a little bit, that kind of deal.
Yeah.
I like to maybe kind of maybe.
Have you ever done a roast battle?
Never, but I'd like to try.
I think it'd be cool.
Yeah.
You should do one. You should have a fucking roast battle night. Man, they get pretty dark though. Like they like the real. Like if you can handle, if you just got to get people who have that
good
thick skin, and can see where another comic's coming from. Because a lot of comics are just fucked self-censoring and policing what other comics say. Like if you had a comic on there that I think got so offended, I don't think they'd even have power.
Especially like in that world, it's like
so dumb.
Sometimes, and like Chappelle said something along these lines, like sometimes the funniest thing to say is the most offensive, but you're not saying it because it's offensive. You're saying it because it's funny.
Exactly. Yeah.
Somewhat.
And everything's funny till it happens to you.
It's like, hey, man.
But how that quote ends too.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like I can dish it out and I can take it. I can really appreciate when someone nails me with like a good one.
For sure.
That's where I come from. So I feel like roasting
dude.
would be like,
oh man,
an interesting place to
go. Into. Yeah, I agree. You should do it. You should try one night.
Have you ever?
No, but I do love watching them. I'm a big fan of them. I think they're fucking so good.
The thing about doing the like roasting kind of intros is I don't want to go too hard and then just make the person seem
insecure.
Like, just burn them.
Well,
too bad.
You could make them.
You want to like ride the line if I feel like it might be too much, I'll always approach the person and be like, hey, just so you know, like this is what I'm gonna say. Is that all right?
Cool.
Just to make sure. Like I did that with Rush. I was like, so I'm gonna announce you as everybody's favorite slut. Like, is that cool? And I had a little bit that I was doing, I think, before I actually introduced her. But that's how I was going to do it. And I was like, are you cool with this? Like, I know you're like, oh, I love friendly sluts. And this is, like, the terminology you use. So.
Yeah, it kind of goes with...
And I want to seem like an asshole, but just so you know, like, I'm not really an asshole. Is it all right? Just... And not just her. I've done it with Jam Easy and shit like that. Because I like... sometimes I can go hard,
He's so
and I
fucking funny. So funny. But yeah, no, that's cool. That's respectable. Because you don't want to ruin someone's set. I would not want to.
No, and not at all, man.
Set somebody up.
Not at all. Especially if you're
like
here, You know, like we're helping each other out. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Doing this thing.
Exactly.
So,
Have you ever had somebody get mad and like come back at you on the mic and be like, "Fuck you, man"? Like, no.
Like for real?
Yeah, well, yeah.
No, but like my first show, I feel like I kind of got at like I didn't offend him because he's fucking Joe Botello. You know him?
Yeah.
So I like he was
He's a
the
good
first
dude.
one
I
up,
like
and
that
I was just like burning him and going, and then when he came up, he did like a little 30 seconds kind of burning me, and I love that shit. I don't even remember everything he said, but you know he made fun of me, and that's like good. Like that's you know.
But that was the only one who actually made jokes back.
Yeah, I feel like Quincy Martin kind of did that, but that's like his whole thing.
Fuck.
You know, is like, you know, that kind of comedy. So like I just expect it from him for sure. I expected it from Joe too, if I'm being real. You know, there's certain people you don't have to like when I did the stuff when you were coming up, I was like, oh, it's fine, like he's fine. Like, it's not gonna be a big deal. Certain people I know, it's just, and especially if it's not too bad, you know, I try.
Yeah, no, it was cool, man. I love that show. It was a good one.
All right, what's going on with your show right now?
I don't have one. We did the one we just did was with Tyler and TC Alexander, Tyler Morrison and TC Alexander.
Yeah.
But that was only done for a remake show because we did the 2 sold out shows back that we were supposed to do in fucking April or March or April 15th, and then it ended up getting moved because of the fucking lockdown. And then we ended up doing it. We did that show, but there was a couple but ticket holders that couldn't come. A few of them were comics, but there was like probably 7 or 8 people that didn't end up making it. So we were gonna do another remake show to give those guys the opportunity to come to another show so that they didn't have to pay for. So that you know what I mean? It worked out. So we did that. That's what that show was the other day, was Tyler's. So it was just a remake show, and I want to bring back another show, but there's a good room in Oshawa right now that is offering it, so I might.
Not requiring fucking vaccine shit?
No, they are, which is the tough part. You know.
Well,
But that's.
I know there's a lot of ways around it.
There is, and
heard.
that's you know.
See,
that's the loophole. Even like performers, but performers don't have to, they're not included because they're considered staff at that point. When it's hired help, when you're hiring, if the bar's paying you and you're hired help, you're essentially an employee of the establishment, and because they're not forcing employees to have proof of vaccination, which is the funniest thing. It's right. Look it up. It's legit real. Any employee, because they didn't want to have to fire their employees because there's a lot of people that don't have it. But companies are implementing it now, which is why people are getting fired. But they're firing nurses that don't want to get it. Right.
Okay, so this is what blows my mind. So you're telling me the people that were essentially saving people for the last year and however long are the ones that
heroes.
Yeah. That we were
Heroes
talking about frontline workers, all this stuff,
Yeah.
and now we're like, what? Fuck the frontline workers because they don't want to. Bro, I'm telling you straight up, like I got vaccinated, and like I didn't want to. Like it's very much a thing where it's like I'm never gonna. Like I was in the middle somewhere. I was like, maybe I'll get it down the road. Like I had a bit that I had to toss away. It was actually fucking it was my closer, man. Yeah. Now I can't do it. You know, I have to come up with those.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's kind of rough when you're like, what am I closing with? Like, what's good enough? You know, picking that joke. Is that how you do it?
Yeah, I do my best joke. I try to do my best joke last.
The beginning and the end.
And then
I
my
feel like
second one,
my
second best joke at the very start, and then my best joke at the end. Because you want to leave them wanting more. But sometimes I it depends. I'm working on something now where I just it's not my best joke, but it's like a thought out. It's a well thought out joke.
But
it's like for whatever reason, comedians love that joke.
Okay.
Other comics are like, man, that's a wicked joke, and I get more props on that from other comics. But like, I'm just, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's my best. I think it's just my most eye-opening. It's like, just about residential schools and how Canadians care more about hockey than they do that. And yeah, it's a good joke. It gets laughs. It does dark, get laughs.
But
it's dark. It's dark, but it's
funny.
It's humorous. It's not. It's not in any way a stab at the victims of the residential schools or the Indigenous tribes across Canada. If anything, I always wanted this joke. It's not. I wouldn't call it a joke, anyways. It's. But there's a punchline, so I guess it is a joke. But I wanted, like, natives and Indigenous and whatever, all these First Nations, to love this joke. I wanted them to realize that the intention behind it was to show awareness of how we don't give a fuck about the weirdest shit in this country. How we care more about certain things than we do
things that don't matter.
Things that don't matter, but we love pretending we care. Like we really do love making a noise when. Like, it's so fucked up. It's like that. Like, there's 34 Indigenous communities that don't have access to clean bong water right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's where we get our weed right now. Like, how is there not more awareness drawn into that? I don't know. I just think it's good. It's my favorite joke, but I've always wanted it to be approved by, like, my audience, who was that? What was for? Was the Indigenous community. I wanted them to be proud of it and be like, fuck yeah, thanks for fucking showing these white fucking idiots. They're fucking white idiots.
Are you vaccinated?
I got my Vax Pass, yeah. I got it.
Okay, bro. So, I'm just saying, if it wasn't for the government forcing it on me, it's like, well, like, okay, so what do you want to do? Do you want to pay your bills, or do you want to not be vaccinated?
Yeah.
And, like, making you basically, I mean, I feel like a test subject, and I think anyone that approves the government forcing pretty much anybody to do something with their body. It's like the same with abortion and stuff. It's like, hey, man.
It should be personal
If it's not
choice.
You, like, get the fuck out of here. Like, get your fucking...
It should be your choice. And it's always been... I've always been down with that. That's always been my intention.
It's gross. I think that we're at a point... Especially for something
for other people like us. That's the most fucked up thing to me, is there's people that are shitting on unvaccinated when unvaccinated... like, given the opportunity to prove that I think a lot of people who aren't vaccinated right now and who are refusing to get the vaccine are more people who already got sick, who already got over that fucking virus and recovered. I don't think there's many people who are unvaccinated who just don't have access to it because it's still available anywhere. The only reason that people who haven't have a good reason, and they've already said, man, like, there's been studies done, it's funny, by legitimate doctors and legitimate scientists, that people are just still shitting on unvaccinated when unvaccinated are 7 times more, like, they have 7 times more protection against catching it again. Like, they're 7 times less likely to get infected with COVID a second time because they've had the antibodies built naturally.
And, like, not everyone who doesn't
seriously.
Want, like, anti-vax or the unvaccinated, whatever. Like, it's not just everyone coming at it from the same stance. Like, some people are just like, there hasn't been enough time. Like, it's like, people of science haven't been vaccinated because they're just like, well, like...
Well, it makes you wonder, why are this many people refusing it? Why are this many people, nurses, doctors, and police officers that are losing their jobs, why are they refusing it? If they've seen it, people are like, oh, well, they just don't trust the doctors and the real scientists. It's like,
some of them.
If you don't think there's people that are incentivized by any of this, like, it just, you're blowing your own fucking mind. Like, it's insane how like,
politics is playing...
The UK, they're back to normal. Like, there's places in the States that are back to normal that people are fine. People are still living their lives without fear. It's just, that's the scariest thing, is people still think this virus is so deadly when it's not. It's not. I don't think it's that deadly at all. People
Bro.
are dying, but people die from the flu. People die from cancer.
I always thought it would be
People
like
die from
something
so
with a
much
way higher death rate that would get us in, into a
Right?
position where the government's like, look,
I
you
want
need
to see
to be
bodies
vaccinated.
dropping like that. I want to be like scared because I see it. Just I don't know. Nothing makes
And
sense.
I mean,
Nothing
bro,
makes
I
fucking
work in a
sense at
kitchen,
all.
right? Like I'm a chef, and all day I have to wear a mask. Like, bro, we're all vaccinated there, and still nothing is changing. Like we're still forced to wear these fucking bullshit masks. And
Well,
I'm not saying
that's
I'm
up to
not
your
here to
boss.
debate whether they work or not. I'm just saying it's like, okay, well, if we're what are we vaccinated for if we're just gonna still have to live like?
You know what makes more sense to me? They should do the test, and you have if you have a negative test. They used to do this at my work.
Yeah.
Where every day you had to do a rapid test because you know what stops the spread of the virus? Somebody who doesn't have the virus. The vaccine doesn't protect you from the fucking getting it. You still can catch it and you can still spread it. So the logic in people fucking still doing this with unvaccinated people, allowing 20,000 people into the fucking Scotiabank Arena, it's like, why do you not see the logic there? Like, why get rid of something? They're like, oh, well, it's not accurate. There's been all these misreadings, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, what do you think they're using at the hospitals to determine the fucking... Like, why is it okay to defend it when the tests are being used for your stats, but when the tests are being used for us, it's like, I don't want to say us, but I'm on the side of unvaccinated people. Like, mentally, it makes more sense to go with what they're doing naturally than that it does to go and get a vaccine out of whatever. Like, my choices were work and so much more, right? Like, there was a lot of shit you were missing out on. And it's unfortunate that they would do that. That right to go to work, to pay your bills, to follow a dream could be taken away for not getting a vaccine that doesn't protect you against the virus. I don't know. It just seems pretty fucking illogical. That's all.
I don't think. I think looking back, I'm hoping it doesn't last more than a few months.
Well, in January they're getting rid of the passport. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
I heard in January, and then in March they're getting rid of the mask mandate.
They're gonna look at this period as like a dark time. It's not gonna be viewed as something that was a good decision. I don't think.
No, there's been a lot of like abuse of power.
And what are vaccinated people angry about? Also, like, I just don't get it. Like, you're vaccinated.
Like, the thing
What's
is
your
that
problem?
their anger is misguided. They're so mad they still think it's unvaccinated people doing it. I see more mad vaccinated that they can't go back to normal because they got the shot. They're like, okay, this is what I was supposed to do. I should be able to move on. And then the government's telling them, no, well, it's more people need to get the shot before we can do that. And now they're mad at these people for not getting the shot, and then they're calling them fucking every name in the book. It's like, it's not their fault. It's literally the government's fault for moving the goalpost. The government getting involved with fucking our health is the stupidest thing that I've ever experienced in my lifetime.
Well, there's a lot of things that the government's involved in that I don't agree with.
No, dude, it's invasive. It's sad. But, it's a touchy subject, right? Because a lot of people have their opinions, their biases, and they, I feel, are entitled to their own opinion and should be able to feel about the situation however they want.
Yeah.
So should I.
Stop getting angry at people that don't think exactly like you. Alright,
what's this? Candy
let's
time?
fucking check out. I don't even think there's any candy left. I think it's all like salty snacks. You pick one, I'll pick one. And I'll fucking get into
that looks like dog
5.
food.
Maybe it is. You know what? I'm gonna take this one. It's probably like some chocolate corn. These Japanese love their corn, man. Let's see what I'm looking at here.
This is Japanese snacks, eh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What is this one?
Coco Bolo. That's what this is called. Japanese, light and sweet when you need a tasty pick-me-up.
Like popcorn.
It's definitely corn. These look like Just looking at the package, like chocolate corn pops or something.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Where'd you get this from, bro?
Fucking Japan, bro. Japan. It's like a monthly,
Cabbage
it's like
taro.
subscription boxes.
Cabbage, yeah. That's where you got it?
Yeah.
Adds cheese. That's the first one I saw.
I get like a new box like basically every 2 months, because there's some I eat, like some are only just
like the sour gummy one would be good, or like banana
gone,
man.
buddy, gone.
I know, like these fucking hogs.
Crackers. What are you taking?
I'm gonna try the fucking Aggie cheese.
All right, bro.
I like cheese. Oh, that doesn't smell bad. And what did you get? The dog food?
No, well, yeah, that's what it's like. Some sort of cocoa. It looks like a cocoa corn pop. Let's try.
So good. Want to eat some more? You know what it is? It's like rice
and
Krispies.
corn. This is rice. Yeah,
That's all they have out there.
it's pretty good. 90% of their salty stuff is rice or corn.
I would imagine. Dude, this is pretty good.
It's not bad.
Want some more?
Yeah, I'll take some more, but I want to try this first. This dog food here. Oh, bro. It's a cocoa pebble.
No.
That's what it is. Yeah, buddy. That's what it is.
Dude, that's delicious.
Not bad at all. Yeah, man.
I'm gonna have some of these. Those are fucking
Those are
fun.
both winners.
That's like fucking Cocoa Puffs.
Nailed it.
You can put that in cereal.
Oh, you could for sure.
Dude, that's so good.
Bang. Japanese cocoa pebbles. Bang.
And cheesy crisps.
Those are really good too. I'm happy with these ones.
Yeah, dude.
All
I
right,
think
bro.
I could live off Chinese food.
Oh my god.
Japanese food.
Oh, Japanese food.
Nah, that's something. I could live off this if I move there. But anyways.
Let's start our top 5 off with comedians, because that's what we were just talking about. You want to start
Top
or you
5
want me to
comedians.
go?
You go.
All right. Joe Rogan. He's my number 1. Been a fan of his for a long time. I'm kind of starting to... His podcast used to be my favorite, and now... I don't know. I don't listen to it as much, just really the guests that I'm interested in at this point. But, I mean... He's killing it. I love him. Catches a lot of shit nowadays. Yeah. I don't know. But I like him, man. My second is Dave Chappelle.
Ooh, good one.
And just as... I just want to say, like, Dave Chappelle is, I think, kind of held a little higher in the comedy world than Rogan. I think most people would say. And, like, I wouldn't I think they're on level playing field. And I think that...
Oh, really?
I think that... Well, I mean, they do tours together. They're touring together. I think that if Chappelle... People need to, like, also make a note that Chappelle is, like, this is the guy who is gonna... We're gonna headline together a tour and do tours together. Like, that's who he's doing it with. I think that means something as well.
Absolutely.
You know? So I try to kind of come at people that don't like Rogan from that angle. It's like, okay, you know, like, if you don't like him, that's totally fine. I know a lot of people that don't like him.
I love Rogan. I've just never been a big fan of his comedy.
But it's like, he's...
Like, some of it's good.
He's there, though. I think he
trying to
doesn't get a lot of...
That's
I
all.
think a lot of the hate comes from stuff he says on his podcast and, like, his
I
views
love
on
his
certain
podcast.
things.
I love his podcast.
But, like, I just think he's funny. I'm coming... Nothing personal attached to I'm looking at him as a comedian, and this is his job, and when...
Yeah.
Does he make me laugh and whatever? So, anyways, Chappelle's my number 2. Really liked his new special, even though it's, you know,
I loved it.
dividing some people. I
loved it.
I don't know.
It was a good way to wrap up those
How
5.
can you like talk about comedy without talking about Dave Chappelle?
Yeah. No, he's a weapon.
My number 3 is a comedian from Oakville, Mark Forward.
Really?
Yeah, he's on Letterkenny, and
Really?
he was on
What
the
character?
show Mr. D. Like the hockey coach.
Oh, yeah,
You know
dude,
the
I
hockey
heard
coach?
it. I've seen people seeing him live.
Yeah, he's so
And
good.
they said he was fucking hilarious.
He's
A
so
buddy
good,
from
dude.
work said that.
Yeah.
Wow.
He actually has a show coming. He doesn't do a lot of shows, dude. And he has one coming up at Comedy Bar in December. Already.
Who is it? Mark Forward?
Mark Forward. Tickets are like $10, bro. Get them.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I'm telling you.
Where
if
is
you've
he
never
coming?
seen him, Comedy Bar.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him on the monthly show. And like, I think it might have been the second one. There was like some Just for Laughs stuff going on before the show you were at. And then on the like wall in the green room, they still have like a list of the comedians and what order they're going. And he was there, and I was like, "Fuck!" Like I've been trying to get this guy, you know. And I've sent him emails and stuff like that, and
Wow.
so hopefully I can eventually get him on because he's like.
Has
a
he
legend.
replied?
I've
all?
talked to him a lot before. He he knows who I am like already before.
But he's
You
never.
He gave me tickets, like 4 tickets once for my birthday. And like, he's
Really?
yeah, like I've seen him like live like 10 times. Before I was doing comedy, I was like a fan of this guy. You know?
Really?
Yeah, so
Wow.
I don't even know if he really like, he's like, oh, this guy who's just like a fan is.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, if I
That's
see
cool.
him in December, I'm
You're
definitely
asking.
going to ask. Like, there's
Okay.
no way. I got him. Right?
No harm.
What do you have to lose?
That's it.
Number 4, George Carlin.
Good
You know?
choice. I ate all
Legend.
your Cocoa Pebbles.
It's fine, dude. Where are the other snacks? Did you eat? Are those gone too?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's a win. Oh yeah, whatever. You could have
Those are
kept
so
it. I don't
good.
mind.
I got the munchies. I
Yeah.
saw munchies on the thing.
Oh yeah, dude. What are your favorite munchies?
Oh,
Since you brought it
Crunchy
up.
Bar.
Crunchy bar, eh?
Bar, bro.
Wow.
Through and through. I'll buy fucking 9 packs of those fucking things
Okay.
from Walmart. Yeah.
I'm going Mr. Big, dude.
Oh, really?
That's my shit.
Really?
Yeah, I like.
I used
also
to like
like
them.
a lot of
I used
ice
to
cream.
like them. Yeah, ice
You know?
cream. Full. Oh, yeah. What's your favorite ice cream?
Oh my god, bro! I don't know. I'm weird. Dude, and I mean, I like a lot. I like
Drumsticks?
Rocky Road. Oh yeah. Well, I go to Costco and I always get the packs of
Oh,
drumsticks.
yeah, that's my fucking ultimate. That's my ultimate.
But if I'm going like
Caramel.
just like a bucket or whatever, a container, I'd probably get like black cherry, or like maybe mint chocolate
Yeah.
chip, Reese's peanut butter cup. Like there's so many good ones.
I never
bro.
liked those frivolous fucking brands or
Yeah.
flavors. I've just Neapolitan or
Yeah. Do you like strawberry?
Heavenly Hash. Oh, I love strawberry milkshakes.
I love
milkshakes.
strawberry, dude. I think strawberry ice cream is.
I do like it. I do like it.
Yeah. Strawberry milkshakes are the shit. Yeah.
That's my ultimate.
What was
Dairy
that?
Queen.
Number 4 was Carlin from Dairy Queen, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, it's all good, dude. I'm also thinking about the Denny's has an Oreo milkshake. Have you had that
shit.
before?
No.
Yeah,
Actually,
it's
not at Denny's,
pretty
but I've
good.
had an Oreo milkshake before.
Yeah,
I
I do.
definitely have.
Yeah, so 4 is Carlin, and number 5 is Bilber.
Hey, that's a good list. That's a good list. That's
Right.
that's. Bill Burr's
I
a
wanna
fucking
see Bill
weapon.
Burr.
He's
He's
coming.
coming.
He's coming. He's coming.
I know.
Get your tickets now. It's in August though.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of
It's
just
a fucking
hoping
year
that
away.
my girlfriend kind of picks up on the hints. Christmas is coming up.
Oh yeah, she fucking better. Does she watch this episode? Does she watch your episodes?
She
at
will
all?
for sure. Yeah, she watches all of them. Or she
Oh,
says she
fuck.
does.
Yeah, right. Yeah, says she does. My fucking top 5 comics, dude. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. It's such a hard decision. Dave Chappelle is up there. I don't know if he's my top.
You don't have to put them
one.
in an order.
Okay,
if you
cool.
don't
Yeah,
want
Dave Chappelle for sure. George Carlin for sure. Bill Hicks. Man. Fuck. Greg Giraldo.
to. Oh, yeah.
He was one of my favorites. And
He's
fuck,
the
man.
real roast master, bro. In my eyes, like,
Yes.
don't get me wrong. I like Jeff Ross and stuff.
No.
but
He was hands
He
down
always
the
just
best.
went a little harder.
Yeah,
You know?
Greg Giraldo. He was a brilliant comic, man. Fuck. And the last one, I don't know, man. Fuck. It's so tough. It's such a tough decision because there's a gut like if I do a local comic or a Canadian comic, like I do have a few favorite ones, but oh my god, it's me. I'm my own favorite comic.
Hey, dude.
I love. No, I can't be that conceited. Yeah, fuck. Quinn's so funny. Quinn Martin.
Yeah.
Tyler Morrison. Fuck, dude. There's so many good local comics that are just wicked, you know. Yeah, if I had to put a tie, it's Quinn and Tyler for the last spot, for sure.
That's
so,
fair.
Yeah. That's my top
I don't think
5.
I've seen Tyler live.
Dude, he's just... Yeah, brilliant. Like, to see him set start, like, because I've seen, like, his specials and shit that he's got on all platforms now. But to just see him, like, start new stuff and then, like, him work it, like, you have a whole new respect for a guy after that. Like, he's fucking talented, man. And Quinn, I love his ability to just... Like, he'll rip on you, like you said, every host. He does it to me anytime he'd come out. He talks shit about me, the stage, the fucking place. Like, he was just such a good observational comic where he could, like, point out the flaws right in front of us that we never all just... Nobody's seen until he brought it up. And we're like, how the fuck did we not see that before? Quinn's brilliant. I love him, too. Good comic. He thinks I hate him.
Really?
Yeah. I hope he sees this.
Wasn't he? He was at the show that we were all at, right?
I know. He always bugs me. He knows now that, because what had happened was he was at Crazy Jack's one time, sitting in the booth, and I didn't know. And I was reading the list of comics that came up, and it said just Quinn. And this is when I was, like, really starting out in comedy. And I kind of, like, you know when you meet so many people, and, like, it's hard to remember a name? And I was like, oh, who's Quinn? And I'm trying to remember his name. I was like, that's fucking, and then he's like, right behind me. It wasn't exactly like that. I can't remember exactly how it went, but it was like, I was trying to remember his last name, and he thought I was saying, like, fuck Quinn. And I was like, no. I was like, dude, I was trying to remember your name because I couldn't remember your last name. And I didn't even see it. Do you think if I would have seen you there that I would have fucking said that? Like, there's no way. You're huge. So, like, I don't know. It was always a joke. I think he'd always, like, poke fun at me every fucking show and say something about, like, oh, so Brandon's got slaves, or, like, Brandon's ancestors were slave owners, and, oh, yeah, he's so funny. I love him to death. Good comic. But anyways, yeah. Moving on.
All right, dude. Dream concerts.
Oh, shit. Fuck, man.
I can start off.
Go ahead.
This is, I feel like most... Just trying to look, yeah. I guess most of mine are really impossible. You know, at this point, there's only one that's, still possible. But the first one, Johnny Cash. I would have loved to have been able to see him. Punk rock before there was punk rock. That's Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
Definitely had his problems. Like, don't get me wrong.
Oh, he was a fucking cowboy for sure.
But I would have loved number 1 for sure. Number 2, Fresh Prince and Jazzy Jeff, bro. This is the only one that I think could possibly happen. And I mean, like, man, you could toss in some Will Smith songs in there, but I mean, I want to hear.
They are touring, aren't they?
I want to hear. I don't know.
I swear to God, dude. I swear to God.
Why the fuck aren't they? If
not
they're not,
long ago.
Make it happen. I was a big fan of Fresh Prince. Like Will Smith, when he did his solo stuff, like he had a couple songs that were alright, but it didn't really compare to. I mean, now it's kind of weird. It's like, he doesn't swear and, like, I don't know. But at the time, I mean, he would battle anybody, bro. Like, even though he was like this kind of PG rapper or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. He was definitely fearless and did his thing. I think he's well respected by other MCs. Tom Petty would be my number 3.
Yeah, dude.
That would have been dope. Nirvana, number 4. I actually saw... Do you know the band Seether?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So they were opening for Evanescence, like a long time ago. Wow. Like when Evanescence was hot. Yeah. And they were hot. Like, I don't know if they're still doing stuff, but yeah. And they did, Seether did a Nirvana song. I can't remember what one it was. It might have been You Know You're Right, because maybe that had just come out. Right. It might have been that one.
Yeah, that's a good tune.
And the singer was, like, sitting on a stool, very Cobain,
he's got that voice too.
And dude, he had his hair over his face, And I mean, just fucking nailed it. Dude, if you weren't looking, you'd be like, for sure that's Kurt. Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely. And so since then I
Wow.
was like, well, that's like probably as close as I'm going to get to seeing Nirvana, even though there was nobody in Nirvana. But that one, I mean, come on.
Wow.
It would have been nice to see them in their prime too, you know?
I would love to see that concert that you seen. But yeah, Nirvana would have been wicked. That Muddy Banks of Wichita, that would have been a fucking sick album. Where they did it live, the Unplugged.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been wicked.
Number 5 is the only one on the group that I've actually seen a few times, actually, but Linkin Park.
Yeah, I love it.
Would have been nice to, you know, be able to see them a couple more times, at least one more time. My girlfriend hasn't seen them, which I'm like, oh, it's such a fucking shame. Like, there's gonna be people in the world that, you know, are just,
I don't know.
They're never. Oh my god! Yeah. And like, no matter what they do, like Linkin Park's just gonna be one of those bands where it's like, they're not gonna be able to find another guy. If they want to start making music together again, they need to go by a different name.
Oh,
but like sure. Mike, like Mike Shinoda can sing and rap and do that stuff, but he can't sing on the level that Chester could.
No.
So
absolutely.
Like, they're not going to be able to do a lot of their hits.
That. Yeah.
So it's like, don't even come back as Linkin Park. No. Don't try to put somebody else in that place. It's like,
especially those lyrics, man. That shit was powerful. He was such a good songwriter. Such a good songwriter.
Yeah.
Musician in general. Yeah. Wicked. So what? That was your dream concerts? That's all of them?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's more, but
absolutely,
it's just a
absolutely.
5.
That's the 5. That's 5. That's wicked. I never would have imagined that this band I used to hate Tragically Hip.
Mm-hmm.
This band, I hated them. Not that I hated them, I just never liked Gord Downey's voice. And then later on in life, I started to fucking really respect it. Like, it was a history lesson. Like, he was really teaching you shit. And it musically, like, so musically inclined himself. Like, his range was insane. And yeah, he was such a talented fucking musician and brought more awareness to anything. Like, he was our guy. He was Canada's pride and joy.
Yeah,
right?
There's no more Canadian.
Missing that element now is it's going to be hard for them to move forward as Tragically Hip. I don't think they ever will.
Again, one of those bands.
Replace him.
You can't.
And it's that's number 1. I wish I could have seen Tragically Hip because I never went. I never seen them live other than watching them online and then watching that last concert. And that, buddy, fuck, that was hard to get through. He was, so that's Tragically Hip, number 1. Soundgarden. I'd love to see Soundgarden.
Mm-hmm.
The Eagles. I would love to see the Eagles if they could. Well, people are dead now. CCR. I would fucking love more than anything to see. And
you can still see them though.
No,
there's still no.
I don't think so. I don't think
they don't tour.
Maybe. I don't think so. I'll look into it, to be honest. You'd think if they're in my top 5 that I've actually would have looked into it, but it's not until I see shit come across my timeline where I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, I'll go see them.
Yeah.
But, and then number 5, I haven't seen Tool, and I would want to. Mm-hmm. That's the band I want to see so bad. Tool's my favorite.
Well, there's a definite chance of you seeing them, I know.
Yeah, they'll be around again.
I want to say they're working on some new shit. I know Maynard is doing some stuff. He has his hands in so many things.
Oh, fuck yeah.
But I think Tool's coming up. Like, when was the last Tool album? It was a while.
No, they just dropped Fear Inoculum a couple years ago. Or a year or 2 ago.
So what about your Tool songs, dude?
Tool songs?
Top 5 Tool songs.
Lateralis, number 1.
Hell yeah.
Right in 2, number 2. Parabola. Anima, and Stinkfist.
Okay. I have a couple on my list too. Hooker with the Penis, number 1.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Sober.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love that song.
The Pot, number 3. Lateralis, Number 4. They have so many good songs.
You got Stink Fist on. Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. Isn't that a sick song?
Yeah.
I love it.
They have a lot of good songs, and I really like. I wouldn't. I know a lot of people that are really hardcore into Tool. I wouldn't say I'm one of those guys, but I've always respected them. And
musically,
I've always loved their imagery, and not just their music. They're fascinating.
Yeah, exactly. Well, their music is more about the human soul and its connection to nature and like even the song Lateralis is written in the time signature of Fibonacci sequence. It's insane. And that song is written in the time signature of that, which essentially, like Maynard said before, that all songs in life and on this earth are essentially of that mathematical equation anyways, just by nature itself. But it was cool. Like, that's what they're fucking so talented, man. So fucking talented.
I've seen them live once.
I wish. I would have loved to. Maynard's just a weapon, dude. And like there's all great musicians. That's the wild thing. Is like every instrument on, like, if you listen to it, it's so well written. Like, they're not just, you know, it's not like one guy who writes everything and he's just really good at guitar or whatever, right? Like, it's like they're so, yeah, it's like a spiritual music. It's more and more like that. And that's what I love, how that spoke to so many people and they're like fucking well known. Like, they create good music, you know?
Yeah.
But anyways.
No, man.
You know.
Great band, though.
When did you see them live?
It was like in Barrie.
Oh, at the fucking
Roxy? It was either late 90s. I want to say it was for a festival.
Wow.
And I want to say it was an Edge Fest in the early 2000s. Maybe 99. Somewhere around there, though.
Yeah, that would have been sick, dude.
Yeah.
In the height of their fucking prime.
Yeah,
too.
they were like the last band on... I don't know if there was multiple days or if it was just one day, but I only went for one day, and they were the last band on that day.
Wow.
Edge Fest used to be banging, bro. Like, we used to get a lot of festivals, and now it's like they only go to Quebec. That's like an issue that I have. It's hard to get, like you'll get some bands, you know, and they'll bring like a couple openers and stuff, but we used to get like Ozfest and stuff, and now we're not getting anything, you know?
Yeah. They stopped letting people get together and have common ground. That's what sucks, right? Like, you'd think, I loved concerts, dude. You'd go there and it was like you all had something in common. Mm-hmm. Everybody there was like, it was like a family.
You literally didn't care about anything else. You like Metallica?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Fuck yeah,
we're
man.
best friends.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah, everyone, man. Fuck,
people were sharing doobies.
Yeah.
Good times, man.
Yeah.
Do you have have you been to a lot of concerts?
I've been to most of them when I was younger. I've been to a lot more concerts. I've never been to a festival though.
Is there like a concert that stands out in your mind as like, you know, like you're just when you talk about it, you're like, oh, I went to this?
There's been memorable ones. Like, I seen Joey Jordison do the upside down drum solo. I was at a Metallica concert and caught the drumstick from Godsmack and a pick from Metallica. I've been front row for every concert I've ever been to. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's been an experience. I've seen Clapton live. Fuck. Yeah, I've seen so many different bands. My favorite, probably the Metallica one. Probably just being able to catch Godsmack's drumstick and a guitar pick and all that. And I was young too. Like, I still have it all. I still have all that shit.
Yeah, my favorite concert, actually, Metallica was there too. But it was when Metallica, I think they just came out with Saint Anger. It was the Summer Sanitarium tour.
Yeah.
Bro, check this lineup, okay? At the time, I loved every band. And I still, to some degree, like every band. So it was Mudvayne, Deftones, Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit, and Metallica.
Dude, that's
in that order.
Sick fucking concert, yeah.
Bro, I mean, it was intense. And there was a lot riding, like, I can't remember what year it was. I want to say it was 2001. Okay?
Dude, that's a wicked concert.
And
fuck, Mudvayne's sick.
It was in the summer, like the show at, I think it was Skydome at that time. in the summertime, and basically my foster dad, like I was still in high school.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend had got the tickets. Like I guess her uncle got the tickets and we paid him. It wasn't like they were just free.
Yeah.
And it was like $120, $115.
Wow.
And at the time it was the most I ever paid for a concert. And like I mean, also just think about the quality of those bands and the fact that it was only 150. You know?
Fuck yeah.
Crazy. And so he was like, if you don't pass everything, like, you know, this semester,
Classes. Yeah.
like you can't go. So that was the deal. It was like, all right, you can go as long as you pass everything. And so, and this is hilarious, dude, but it's the truth. So I got my report card, and I had failed gym.
Really?
Yeah, hear me out though, okay? It wasn't because I wasn't like athletic or I didn't do the stuff. It's because I just never went to gym. Okay? It was always like either on the heels of lunch or right before my lunch period.
So you skipped that class.
So I always skipped it, yeah. And so I failed. Like I got like 45.
Wow.
And I was like, God damn it. And so after class, the day of getting the report cards, legitimately went to, and it wasn't a great idea, but went to the convenience store that my foster dad likes to go to play pro line.
No.
You know, but it's at like a weird time, and I'm thinking, all right, he's going to be home because like everyone's finished school, like everyone's going to arrive home, so he's going to be there.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, it went through about, I think it was like maybe like 5 or 10 cents a copy. I went to about $2 until I got like the perfect one. And so I have like a stack of papers that I'm going to throw out, and I'm standing there at like this photocopier inside a convenience store with my girlfriend, and my fucking foster dad walks in, bro. And I'm like ducking, and I'm hiding over by the pop machine, and she's like hiding somewhere else, and we're just trying to make him not see us. And then we like come to each other and we're like, well, we should just fucking walk up behind him. We can hide these things and he doesn't see us doing it, and like, because if he sees us hiding, it's gonna be bad. Yeah. And so we end up like walking up behind him, and he's like, oh, like, why aren't you home, and all this kind of, he didn't really give me shit, but he was just kind of like, what are you doing here? Yeah. And so I ended up getting away with it, man, and I gave him the photocopied one, and basically I cut out a 50% square,
glued it
from
on.
like another, like, yeah. And I kind of glued it right inside the center. And the whole reason I couldn't actually, like, it took me so many tries is because I'm like, you know, you can't just do it on a screen. You're literally physically moving the things and putting it on the paper and trying to copy it that way. So
wow,
it took a bit, but I did it. He never found out. Got to go to the show. Best concert ever.
Wow.
That's
good
my
on
story,
you,
dude.
That's fucking sick, dude.
Yeah,
I never did that. I forged my mom's signature plenty of times to get out of school.
Yeah.
But never have I.
I was never good enough with signatures.
No?
No. I really just do a P and a G for
my mom's
name.
was simple. Very simple. I still do it to this day.
Oh, I wish I could have.
No, it's just, it's an easy way to get out of class. Like, I used to show up late every day for school. I would always sleep in and like, get a drive in from my mom on the way to work. And my fucking mom would stop at the coffee shop for me because I'd buy my secretary at the school a coffee, and she never gave me detention. Always grabbed her a coffee every morning. And it was a lot, dude. At least 4 days a week, at least. Very rarely did I take the bus. Once I knew my mom was going to start driving me in, I was like, fuck this. I'm just going to like wait it out. $2. It wasn't even $2. I think it was like a fucking 85-cent coffee at the time. But yeah, man. That was what I did.
All right, dude.
All right.
Do you wanna let's do superheroes?
Okay.
Next.
Superheroes, fuck, bro. My mom 5 times.
I love that.
I don't watch many superhero movies, or I've never got into Spider-Man, never Superman, none of that.
I've had a lot of people do like, real people from movies or just from their past or.
No, my mom
cartoons.
For sure. My mom and my sister, like all my siblings, honestly, my brothers, both of them, like my dad, like there's a lot of, it's cool to see. They're in my eyes have always been super, because I'm the youngest of 4, right? So like I always looked up to them. And then like, first and foremost, it's my mom. The way my mom like took care of 4 kids, basically, like, you know, still working a full-time job, still come home and cook dinner. The house was always clean. Like, there was, she did so much. Doesn't ever like your parents don't ever get the credit until you're older. And I'm grateful my parents are both still alive because I can just like tell them like I always tell them how good of people they are, and how they're just I love my parents to death, which is cool because like not a lot of people get that opportunity. People hold on to resentment and I know I did with my dad. Like I used to resent the fucking shit with my dad, but I don't know. You grow up. You see humans for who they are, but. Yeah, my mom's definitely a superhero, bro. Definitely a superhero. Yeah.
Well, that's good, man. It's good that my mom is definitely not. I feel like we have complete opposite mothers.
Oh wow, really? See, it's hard for me to believe that could ever exist.
It's hard, I know, and like trust me, and I get a lot from actual mothers when I tell them how I feel about my mom, and like. I don't know, like my girlfriend tells me I hold on to stuff, but I'm like, I feel like I haven't really, I mean, up until maybe like a few years ago.
Yeah.
I just feel like I've let it go. I've come to the realization that her not being in my life made my life better. Do you know? Yeah. So it kind of has helped me let go a lot of the animosity that I'm sure, in 20 years, there's going to be a fucking psychiatrist being like, and now you've let this go, and there's some other shit that maybe I'm not, but I've definitely let go of a lot of that anger and stuff towards it. Because I was like raised in foster homes from like 6 months on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like and even still to this day, she's just not a great person, and so I'm just like, well, this was definitely for the best, and I'm glad that, like, thank you for being out of my life. I don't know, it's so weird,
Yeah, no.
And I know, cool. I understand, dude, if you have a great mom, it's probably like...
No, because I can relate to how I felt about my dad, where it would have been like, I would have been much better off without him around. Oh, buddy, absolutely. Right. I totally relate to that. And I get it. It's just, it was even harder because it was like seeing him, the way he would treat my mom. Like, he was never like abusive, but like mentally abusive. Like, he was just a fucking dick, you know what I mean? And that would crush us more because it was like we were helpless kids. We couldn't do anything, right? Mm-hmm. And then you get old enough, like, he doesn't do it now because we just fucking kicked the shit out of him. But it's been a while since he's done it, right? He's been a good dude for a while. I'll give him that. And I don't know, it's easier to forgive your parents because you realize they're just human and they just don't know better. Because I think inherently humans are good. There's a real nature where we would rather be loved than feared. And I think that's what's really missing in a lot of people is because they were just never shown that existed. Mm-hmm. Where they don't know how to do it. They don't know how to love or show, like, or disagree, like have a difference of opinion and not get angry. And people just, when their first resort is anger, it's usually because they don't know how to love. They don't see it. They don't see it, or they see it as a weakness.
And like when people generally, repeat the cycle as you know, so one would phrase it like, is generally just because that's what they know. And
absolutely. Well, they don't see a way out, right? Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll go through my superheroes quick, but I love that you picked your parents. I like that, man. No, it's cool.
No one's ever picked their parents.
So not both of their parents, no.
No, well, my mom's first. Like, I'd say she's over. She's more of the superhero. My dad's not.
He's like Robin.
He's a good role model as what not to do.
Okay. Well, that's dude. That's where I'm coming from too. Mm-hmm. You can learn just as much. Batman's my number one, dude.
There you go. Given.
Red Hood. Arsenal's number 3. Spider-Man's number 4. And Shazam is number 5.
Shit, eh?
Yeah. I'm really kind of... Man.
I don't even know who Shazam is.
It sounds dude. Like an app. Dude, check it out on Netflix. I think it's on there.
Okay.
It's like... basically a
Shaquille
superhero
O'Neal?
who's a kid. Oh no, what was that? Was that Kazam?
Something like that. It was Shazam.
No, I don't. I think it was. I don't want to misquote. It could have been, but I think it was Kazam, where he was a genie.
Yeah,
Is that
the
the one we're
basketball
talking about?
player. Yeah.
Dude, I actually really liked that movie back in the day.
Me
I haven't
too.
watched it in a long
Me too.
time, so I don't want to say if it holds up or not. But
Yeah, right. A lot of those movies.
Shaq's
are
obviously
fucking
not a good actor, but
No.
no, Shazam's like a DC superhero, and he's basically a kid from foster home. Relatable,
Yeah.
you know? And so he basically, just is granted this power where if he says Shazam, he turns into this like fucking giant superhero who has all. He's
Really?
basically like Superman, you know?
That's cool. And he saves people.
Yeah, it was filmed in Toronto too. So like if you watch it, you'll be able to be like, oh, this is
Scope
where this
places
is.
out.
Yeah,
Really?
for sure. Yeah, it's really good, man. I slept on the character
That's
for a
cool.
long time, but yeah, definitely. And it's like it's kind of has this like, I don't know if you were into like really homey movies back in the day, like The Sandlot or Home Alone and things like that. It's just that kind of vibe. It kind of has that mixed in with like the superhero world. So it's kind of a unique.
That's cool.
He's unique, you know.
Yeah.
Netflix picks.
All right.
This was your category. I actually liked it. And I only pick shows because we could talk about other things. I'm sure you have other things on there. You don't have to pick just shows.
It's all mixed, yeah.
What do you got?
Mine, number one, is David Attenborough's A Life on This Planet. That's one of the greatest things I've ever seen. Fuck, man. Yeah, it's a real eye-opener to because he's seen the whole world, right? He's seen everything and different species of life, seen shit, how biologically it works and how we've affected our ecosystem with just the way we spend our money. We influence or we encourage this bad society or this polluting society because we're feeding into these corporations. We're it's supply and demand. Like if we could live a life of more eco-friendly, like a lot of species and shit wouldn't like not. And I'm not against that because I think naturally humans, their impact aren't essentially that bad. It's the pollution that we do that's bad. But like I don't think like certain animals aren't going to go extinct. I think animals have always gone extinct. It's just part of the cycle of life. Like some species make it, some species don't. You can't just keep them all alive. But it was the fact of it was the meaning behind it for me was more about how we should be living more in tune with nature and as opposed to against it. Like learn to live with it and benefit from it than
not giving a fuck about it.
Not giving a fuck about it at all, right? And then, so that's my number one. Number two, I guess the rest are in no particular order, but they're just comedy specials. Dave Chappelle's The Bird Revelation and Equanimity. Both those two, it's, I guess, not considered one special. They're two different ones, but they
came out at the same time.
Yeah, they're on the same. It's like part one and part two, I guess, technically. Of like a 5-part series, right? So those two, and then I'll consider those 2 and 3, and then number 4 would be fucking Jesus Christ, Bill Hicks Revelations, and then number 5 is Anthony Jeselnik Fire in the Maternity Ward.
I haven't seen that one.
It's
I'm not huge on him. You like it?
Yeah,
I might check it out.
I like him. He's smart. He's very smart with the way he words shit, and it's edgy. It's darker humored, but it's what I love. It's just what I love. Yeah, he's a wicked comic. He's good at that.
He's good at like roast stuff. I like him on the roast stuff.
The roast, he's a fucking weapon too.
So for me, see, I just went TV shows, but I would like to say the new Chappelle special if you haven't seen that. And the new Theo Von special.
Isn't that good?
I just like Theo Von, you know?
Yeah,
and
he's good.
He's just fun. My girlfriend doesn't really feel the way I do about him. Like, she can take him or leave him. But I just think he's so relatable. I met him when he was here last in Toronto, and he just seemed like such a... Like, for who he is and the status that he actually has, I think, and is gaining in the comedy world, like, he doesn't seem... He just seems like one of us, dude. For real.
Cool.
Like,
that's cool.
And that was, it was really
inspiring.
cool. But no, yeah, just honorable mentions to those. My first is one that I think might not seem like a great show from the outside for men. It's called Maid, all right? Okay. And it's about a woman who's a phenomenal actor, and she's a mother, and she's getting out of like an abusive relationship, and just so much. I don't know, like I know people that have been in her position, and I know people that are just, currently in her position, or, in some phase of what she went through. Yeah. So it's like a really relatable kind of show, and just so much bad shit happens, and like it was one that my girlfriend picked, and I was just pretty blown away by everything, just like the story, the arc, the acting.
That's cool when you see something that you would have picked.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
You never would have clicked on it, and then you're like, yeah, this is actually really good.
That's why it's number one, because it's like I didn't really...
That's cool.
It kind of blew me out of the water, because I was like, this is going to be fucking boring.
Yeah, your expectations were low.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But Maid, definitely check that out. Afterlife, number 2. Have you seen that?
Ricky Gervais show? Dude. Yes, that's wicked, dude. I love that show.
Not even a huge Ricky... This show is actually the reason that I started... Well, this show and what he did at the
Oscars, Golden Globes.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
No, it was Golden Globes.
Oh, okay.
Golden Globes. That was amazing.
Yeah, it was a combination of the two.
Every year. For like the last 5 years, he did it.
Just killed it.
Yeah. Wicked.
But yeah, that show is super funny, and it just really started my love for Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
It was all from that show, and he's just such a... I just love it. I love it's smart. And like, I don't really like to say that because I think all comedy's smart, but like, because it's not... When I say smart, I just mean like, a lot of the things that he's going through aren't... No one would ever try to talk about them and make them into something funny. Yeah. It's just so...
It's a brilliant show.
Yeah.
I wish I would have put that on my list.
Okay, so we're... Yeah, number 2. Number 3, Hot Date. Dude, don't sleep on this show. Definitely, if there's anyone that you check out, this is like one that would grab you like initially. Like you would...
Really?
Because it's basically a couple... It's a man and a woman. They're in real life they're dating, and in the show they're dating, but they also play like every other character. They don't just play the main characters. Yeah, they play basically every other character in the show. Like Benny
Professor.
Yeah, but like more.
That's cool.
It's just the two of them doing. Yeah. And man, it's kind of like a mix. Like the first season is like, the episodes are loosely tied together. There's a lot of like Mad TV kind of vibes from it.
Really?
And it's just like a bunch of skits kind of injected into like this loose storyline.
That's cool.
Second season, it gets more like things are more cohesive. But both seasons are really good. Hot Date. And they're both equally hilarious. If anything, like, I think the woman in the show is hilarious. I really wish I could remember her name. But they're really funny, man. Hot Date, yeah. Definitely check that out. Slept on, man. It's been on there for a long time.
Wow.
Dead to Me, my number 4. It's Christina Applegate and fucking Linda Cardellini or something. Cardellini? I don't know. She's from Freaks and Geeks. Anyways. Yeah. Just badass fucking women, dude. Like, I don't know what to say.
What's it called again?
Dead to Me. And a lot of, like, weird... It's just one of those shows that, like, every episode I was like, whoa, didn't see that coming. Whoa, didn't see that coming. And
it's well written.
Yeah.
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 That Hot Date one sounds pretty cool, though. I want to check that one out.
Definitely, dude.
I do.
It would be the It would be the one I would say might be most up your alley. If you've already seen Afterlife, yeah, you don't need to.
Yeah.
And then my number 5 is Lupin. Lupin, it's a French show. And, like, generally not into...
Is it subtitled?
It is, and this is what I was going to get into. Is like, for like most of my life, dude, seriously, the only reason I'm starting to get into subtitle things is because of my girlfriend. She likes a lot of foreign stuff. Like she was
cool.
born in like the UAE and stuff. So she was really into that kind of stuff. And I'm not just gonna be like, no, we can only watch superhero stuff. And it's like we're pretty even on what we watch. And most of my life, I was just like, man, I'm watching something. I don't want to read. And then over time, she just showed me a couple things that were really good. So I was a little more open to trying this. And although it is in subtitles, like it's basically like modern day French Robin Hood.
Really?
Yeah. This guy's just like fucking crazy smart and he's a thief. Just always gets out of like crazy situations and in like the most elaborate ways, and you're like, this guy, fucking Lupin, oh my god,
Lupin.
Like, yeah,
Lupin, he does it again.
Yeah, definitely.
Sounds cool. I'll check it out. I'll check that one out.
Sometimes shows are hard to get into with subtitles, though.
Yeah, I agree. Just because you're not really watching it, but there's a weird part that is intriguing to me. I do enjoy it. Like not that I can't say I enjoy it. I tolerate it. I don't. It doesn't like bother me as much as like I guess someone who's expecting to not have subtitles. Like, I don't know.
I definitely prefer.
For me, subtitles. I like it because it's like you can kind of learn the language.
Huh?
You know what I mean? Like you hear it. If you start hearing shit, let's say my brain just notices those patterns, and then I'll start to feel like I can talk French by the end of it. Like,
oh, buddy, what's like? Have you seen Squid Game?
No.
Have you checked that out?
No.
So. I ended up checking that out eventually.
Was it any good?
It's decent, bro. Like
really?
I was entertained by like midway through. Okay, so the first episode is pretty good. The second episode is not good. I'm gonna be real. I was like, oh, I don't know about this show. I generally am like, all right, I'll give it 2 episodes, and if I'm not into it, and the second episode was just stinking it up, and then ended up watching the third, and it kind of picked up again from the third, and it was okay. You know, I definitely, like, it's not on my top 5, obviously, but while I was watching it, it's like, Ernie Vicente?
Yeah.
He had, like, something, he has the Earnspire shit, and he's like, how to be happy watching Squid Game. And so he had these things, and it's like, we started watching it with the English dub and the subtitles, and they were just completely different from each other, and he was like, watch it in Korean with the subtitles, and so
really?
That kind of made a difference, but doing that, like, throughout every episode, I would try to, like, mimic what they were saying.
Yeah.
And, like, my girlfriend would be like, like, it's kind of racist. And I was like, I feel like it's not racist. Like, when did it become racist to do an impression?
Right.
Like, I mean, like impersonation. You know?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. It's not.
Like,
it's
I don't know. I fucking love when non-whites do white impressions.
Right?
I love that shit.
Yeah.
Chappelle does the best white impression, like, of all time.
Yeah. Yeah,
but
I don't find it offensive at all. Some people are so weird.
We are, yeah. I get the argument. We're not the
it's
oppressed.
Insensitive.
But
it's insensitive, but
I just don't think it's politically correct.
Absolutism.
I don't think it's racist to do an impression. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't make you hate the people. And
it's weird because, like, I don't know. I don't even know if I want to go down this road. You know what? I'm not gonna. Definitely check out Lupin, dude.
I will.
Let's get into these bad choices. Do a couple of these motherfuckers. That was legit the one that when I was like, okay, this is the game that we... Okay. Are you a good person to call for relationship advice?
Yeah, if you like hearing the truth.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Some people don't like hearing the truth, though.
Or it's like some people also will be like, hey, help me out. This, and this. And you're like, all right. Like, I might not be the best person for advice, to come for advice, but this is, how I feel.
Yeah, I don't give it from my perspective. Yeah,
and they don't give a fuck, and it's just like, well, just don't come to me then. It's cool. Like, I'm not offended if you're like, I don't make the best decisions. I'm definitely not the best person to come to for advice, but if you ask me, I'll give you, my honest opinion and my best advice I can. But yeah, I definitely hear you.
Well, that's it. People just don't. I will never impose my advice on somebody, but when asked,
yeah, exactly.
You're gonna hear, from an introspective look.
Yeah.
I always end up blaming the person. Like the person asking. It's usually their fault anyways, right? Not all the time. But yeah.
Most of the time.
That's it. We're all ignorant of our own flaws at some point. To some degree, I should say. But yeah.
Do it up, bro.
My turn? My turn?
Buddy.
I pick out any of these flipped up ones?
Yeah, just pick whatever one in this
Have you ever
box.
been punched in the face?
Yeah.
Yeah?
A few times.
Yeah.
I think only one real time that caused any damage, and I was actually in grade 7. And it was like my friend. Before the pre-punch, he was my friend.
Yeah.
Post-punch, not so much. Because it was done. Like, it wasn't even a fight.
Yeah.
And I had been dating this girl. And she had the biggest boobs in the school, bro.
Nice.
Yeah. And
Good
she was
on
like,
ya.
she was
Big
mad
titty
slept
broads.
on. And no, like, not like hoe-wise. I mean, like, people didn't recognize her beauty. Like, she was just coming in.
Yeah.
To, like, you know,
Puberty?
I don't know. Well, that definitely
Are
too.
we legally
but I
allowed
mean, like,
to talk about this now?
you know, it's like sometimes it happens with, you know, both men and women, or boys and girls, where it's like they start off not looking so good, and then somewhere along the line they
grow
start
into it.
looking better, start trying to caring maybe more about their appearance.
Yeah.
And so she was just starting to come into her own, and like obviously we're young, and we had been for the whole time, bro. We were like kissing, like open mouth kissing, like French without tongues.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Or is that?
Yeah.
And you just move your lips, all your mouth is open, and you're just breathing your bad breath into each other's mouths. And then one day, like we had, I would talk to her friend and be like, yo, why doesn't she ever fucking want to slip her tongue? You know, when are we gonna French kiss? Talk to her about this fucking tongue business. And then, you know, she felt weird about it, so it was this big build up. And then finally, one day after school, dude,
Yeah.
she slips her tongue in my mouth. And it was like for a brief, like this was the first time she had ever done it. And it was only for maybe like 2 seconds, and it obviously would have went on longer, but this guy, Danny Turner, fuck you, I don't even mind if I say your name, prick. So long ago. See how much I harbor shit? Let it go, Paul. But yeah, anyways, Danny Turner fucking comes up and he starts saying shit. And so, like, he's just being a smartass. Like, just doing some stupid kid shit.
Yeah.
Can't remember exactly what it was. And then it made her stop. And I was like, bro, I went up to him like, bro, this is the first time she's sticking her tongue in my mouth and you're ruining it.
Wow.
You know?
What a
And
dick.
fucking, and he just like punches me out of nowhere, dude.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Because I swore at you? And was like, why are you being stupid, dude? And so that was it. And he kind of like, it wasn't even a fight. Like, it was one punch. And it was like kind of a sucker punch.
Yeah.
And it was the first time I had been punched in the face for real. And like, I have a scar on my lip.
From it still?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Right there.
Went through your tooth?
Yeah,
Tooth went
dude.
through it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've
They
been
said he
punched a
might
lot.
have had something in his hand. Like,
A lighter? Fist pack?
I don't know, something.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
a ring or something. I don't know.
Oh, that hit? Yeah, that made
Yeah.
the cut. Okay.
I don't know, because I've been hit in the face plenty. In the mouth. And like, that has never happened.
Yeah.
It just like split, bro. And I didn't know it was that bad. Like, obviously I don't have fucking mirror or a smartphone at that time.
Yeah.
And so like I walk into the school, and as I'm walking there's some cars on the street, so I look in like a side mirror. And like if I open my mouth, it just, there was like a chunk.
Yeah, dude.
It's
Wow.
fucked up.
Ugh. Gross.
What about you?
Yeah, I've been hit plenty of times. We used to get fights all the time. That was high school, fucking elementary school. There was, you know, if you're the funny guy, you're usually gonna get hit for saying something, you know, when you're making fun of everybody. Like that was elementary school for me. I just used to make fun of people. Like we'd have our group, but like that was like, yeah, I'd get in a lot of fights. Honestly, not a lot. I can't say that. I
got in quite a few too. It's
yeah,
okay,
like there
man.
was enough. There's enough. It wasn't just. I wasn't a fighter though. I was just the loudmouth who people wanted to fight. Right. So that was. It's not like I went looking for him. I'd always get into him unintentionally. But yeah, I've been punched. Fuck yeah. Do you support polygamy? Sorry, I didn't mean to read that out.
Do it. Do you support polygamy?
That's
is
the
dumb.
one where you could fuck anyone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think if your wife's into that, your wife's like, yeah, we should be able to. But like, if it's her idea, she just wants to cheat on you, and not have the repercussions. But if it's your idea, it's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, if both people are into it, why the fuck not? I really suppose.
Right? I support free choice.
Yeah, exactly, brother.
Do what you
That's what
want.
it's down to. All right, let's do one more and then get out of here.
All right, cool. Have you ever had a sexual partner who turned out to be gay? I can't say. I don't think so. Usually,
Yeah.
I don't follow up with a later phone call in life to be like, hey, so you still
Most of the time
still
that's how it
fucking
is.
guys?
I don't really have like a
Neat
few
carpet?
exes that I even still talk to.
I think what
Most of the
that I
time
think
it's
what
like-
that's asking more is, have you ever had a sexual partner who you turned gay? That's what it's trying to make it. That's what the vibe I got from that.
Well, I haven't. I've been with women that are bisexual, but in high school, I was dating a girl, and she was going to a different school, and at my school, I became friends with this gay guy.
Yeah.
And he somehow it came out like he didn't know I was dating the girl I was.
Yeah.
But he ended up telling me about his last girlfriend before he started dating guys.
Yeah.
And his last girlfriend was
that
the girl
Brad?
I was dating.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's kind of similar, dude.
That's wicked.
But yeah, man. Can let these people know where to get at you if you want to.
Brandon H. Comedy on everything. Or just come see me in the road and shoot me in the head, please. Put me out of my misery.
Funny motherfucker.
Yeah, come see us. Come see people live. Support your local comedy scene. And yeah, support Paul. Paul, thank you for having me, bro.
Brother, thank you so much for being here. Like always, this podcast is brought to you by Neon Light District. Hit them up. Use code PillowTalk to save 10%.
Bam.
And by The Great North Apparel. Hit them up. Use code PillowTalk to save 30%. And go grab your tickets for the next monthly show.
Good point. Yeah.
Boom.
You fucking chooches.
See y'all in
Peace.
2 weeks. Peace the fuck out.
Ba-dum-bum. Ba-dum-bum.